Hello everyone and welcome back to Sunrise Tarot. My name is Leah and today I'm doing a reading for the sign of Capricorn for the month of August. I've already meditated on the cards and I've already shuffled the cards, and this is the spread that I have for you today. Also, please remember that this is a general reading. There may be some parts that do not resonate with you. Please take the parts that do resonate and leave the rest behind. You may also want to check out your other signs. So Capricorn, in the past we have the Five of Cups, which is definitely a card of loss. It's a card of someone who is pessimistic, someone that is hard to please. It's a person that sees kind of the negative in things, or maybe not necessarily sees the negative, but sort of prefers to kind of maybe sarcastically even point it out. It doesn't have to be like a super negative person, but it's definitely someone who is not noticing some opportunity that it may be in front of them. And of course, we have the Two of Pentacles as the clarifier position, which suggests that maybe you were overwhelmed with something. Maybe you were juggling a few things, projects, people, commitments that you've made. And so you got maybe a little bit out of balance and you, put too much attention on one thing, but not enough on another. So definitely that could have resulted in a bit of a loss for you. But this combination is pretty strong because it sets the tone for the rest of the spread. It kind of gives that background mentality that you are going to have in the month of August. August is definitely going to be a bit of a bumpy ride for you. Just generally speaking, I'm looking at this spread and it's quite difficult and heavy and not very light, uplifting. This is definitely a bit of, so month of August I think is going to start out, for some of you it will start out relatively okay, but for some it might just be kind of challenges from the get-go. But the Five of Cups and the Two of Pentacles together suggests to me that maybe something bad, not so good, maybe some kind of an important loss that you've felt you've had in the past that is kind of preventing you from moving forward or taking on additional responsibility. And so you're definitely, of course, understandably a little bit maybe sad and reflective over that. In the challenging position, of course, we have Death and the Nine of Cups. Death is it's a card of usually some kind of a transformation, change, ending. For some people, it's the ego gets a bit of a bruise, something where people may not show enough respect, or something to the effect where something inside of you is going to feel different to you. Something inside of you is going to change as a result of some kind of a difficult thing that is coming. And because Death is in the challenging position, you are definitely doing everything in your power to kind of prolong it or hold it off, because it suggests to me that you're resisting to change. You're delaying maybe the inevitable. So if there's something that is not going to work out because if a relationship it's over, if the job is a bit of dead end, that it's not going to go anywhere, but you may still choose to stay in that, or continue to be friends with a person that continues to do something that is disrespectful to you. It's something that you kind of are dreading. You're not really wanting to deal with it. You're procrastinating to your best ability. It's definitely, the divine is warning you to let go of things that no longer serve you, to let go of attachments that are bad for you, or some kind of patterns, maybe behavior patterns, maybe bad habits that no longer work for you, because this is definitely a bit of a warning. And when the Death moves in, it is not stoppable. There is no stopping this card. It is an absolute card. It's a major arcana card, so it's quite powerful. The Nine of Cups is is just a little bit of a clarifier, and it suggests to us that you are maybe feeling a little bit insecure. You're comparing yourself to others. You're not thinking that you're arguing with yourself too much. Maybe you are kind of maybe not so nice to yourself in your head, and of course that only influences the pattern, the bad pattern or the bad habit that is just continuing. Generally, the Nine of Cups is a very positive card. It's a wish fulfillment card. Sometimes it could mean that you are going to get your wish, but it's not really what you expect to feel about a wish one way, and then all of a sudden you find out that maybe you don't want that wish at all, especially when it is in the combination with death, or maybe you kind of get your wish and it's just so that things could and all of a sudden things could end, like with the virus. It messed up a lot of people's plans. People had travel plans and whatnot, and so sometimes forces outside of our control bring about transformation and bring about change. It doesn't necessarily have to be an ego death. For some it will be an ego death. For some it will be letting go of something that you need to let go of, but for others it could also be an external. In very rare circumstances, death could be an actual death of a person. So that is also not to be overlooked. In the present, we've got the Eight of Pentacles reversed and the Ten of Wands, which the Eight of Pentacles suggests that you are kind of neglecting your responsibilities. You're not, you're being a little bit lazy. You're being not able to focus, not being able to concentrate. You're avoiding something that you need to do. Maybe you have a repetitive, monotonous job and you just sort of not feeling like doing it. Maybe you need to put a little bit more effort in a relationship and you're kind of avoiding that. Maybe you need to kind of organize your time better and stop sort of juggling things in a way where you have too many things in the air, which of course relates to the Two of Pentacles. And of course, as a result of lack of effort, you could be carrying a pretty heavy burden. The Ten of Wands is a card of burden. It's a card of feeling like you have the world on your shoulders, where you might just be in over your head. So definitely the month of August is going to feel a little bit confusing, because this is very kind of not such clear energy. You're not being fully truthful with yourself. But the good news is that in towards the end of August you get justice, which immediately brings clarity into your thinking. It brings a resolution to one or maybe more of your problems. And of course, the King of Cups is someone who has a positive influence. For most of you, this is going to be a very positive person. The King of Cups could be a negative, but considering where this card is, I think that he will definitely be a welcome influence. It's someone who is very who controls his emotions pretty well. It could also be a woman. It doesn't necessarily have to be a man, but generally it's most likely it is a man. It could also be that he could possibly be not divulging all the information, but he's generally a very positive person, and he is generally seen as an authority figure, and maybe he is influencing this justice that you will receive towards the end of August. Or maybe he's going to help you kind of, justice can also be about cutting things that you don't need out of your life, or people that you don't need out out of your life, and maybe the King of Cups will help you kind of have an ability to complete your goals and your dreams in a way where your emotions are in a good space, where you have enough clarity, where you have maybe support, maybe advice. He's definitely a very promising influence in this reading. I've also pulled 2 energy oracle cards. Let's see what those are. The Journey and Caring Connections. So I definitely think that Caring Connections is very much relates to the King of Cups. There is someone who cares about you. There is someone who sees a lot of value in you. There's someone who sees a lot of just goodness. For someone you really do mean a lot. And of course, Journey relates to this transformation that you will be going through, that will help you see that there are other opportunities, and there are, the whole world is open where you can kind of pursue your dreams. But let me just see if I can clarify it a little bit. Journey is a card that foretells upcoming travel or a shift in location. It may be as simple as a vacation, a retreat, or even a work-related trip. It could also be about maybe internal journey, where you are really reflecting on things that have happened in your life, and you're kind of rediscovering some of your likes and hobbies. So it could be external as well as internal as well. I just said that twice, but I have also pulled 2 Ancestors and Angels cards. Let's see if they can clarify some of this spread for us as well. And it says, Great Teacher, learn from spiritual experiences, and Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. Let's see, Great Teacher. I want to see if I can find a further explanation for this card. And it says, the Great Teacher is a card that usually suggests you have someone that may be kind of someone that could be your mentor, could be a friend, it could be someone at work that definitely has a wonderful influence on you, and that is reminding you, to open your heart to the experiences and make sure that you have a strong spiritual connection, so that you can receive messages from the divine, because there's someone that definitely wants to communicate with you. Shield Maiden is definitely a card that requires a little bit, that the divine says that we need to be a little bit strong in order to make sure that we fight through the challenges. The card is actually about plan and strategy, so that you are organized about how you move forward. Take some time to assess what your next steps may be. You are an amazing human being, and ancestors are letting you know that you have a warrior's heart, and that you need to be prepared and you need to be focused, because there's nothing that, of course, you cannot achieve. Let's see what the universe has for us. I also pulled a message from the universe card deck, and it says, thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perceptions so that I can see what is of the highest good. So it's, I think, also bringing you clarity as well, that justice is bringing to you. And this is just a reinforcement from the divine to remind you that all of us have limits, all of us have fear, all of us have, perceptions that not always can be correct, but it's important to continue to meditate, to continue to be open to receive messages from the divine, so that they can help you move on and forward and achieve your goals, and avoid, for example, feeling like you are not concentrating, like you are maybe a little bit overwhelmed by various things. The universe is definitely conspiring to help you, so make sure that you do meditate. Also make sure that you burn a little bit bit of sage throughout your home, and then open the windows and open the doors, and allow the negative energy to leave your home, it definitely helps. It definitely has an effect, especially if you do it on a more or less consistent basis. I hope you have enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. Also, please feel free to leave any comments. I appreciate all feedback, and it also helps me connect with your energies. Again, thank you so much for watching the video, and I hope you will be back soon.